All the while, emergency repairs to Walker were underway. Even if Matt had found the time, he couldn't have slept through the racket. Now, standing on the bridge wing, he allowed a huge yawn to escape and hoped it made him look calm instead of just worn out. The morning sun was bright, and the beauty of the vast, calm, almost violet sea was marred only by the distant hump of Bawayan Island and the tiny cluster of American and British destroyers guarding Exeter's wounded flanks like battle-weary army ants, escorting their injured queen to a new home. As far as Matt knew, he was looking at all that remained of the Allied forces in the American, British, Dutch, Australian, or ABDA defensive area. He knew they'd been the last ones out of the tangled mass of wreckage and half-sunken hulks that Surabaya, Java had become. ABDA Float's initial force was composed of 2 heavy cruisers, 7 light cruisers, 23 destroyers, and about 30 submarines and assorted support vessels. Now all that was left were 3 battered Great War vintage U.S. 4-stacker destroyers, 1 British destroyer Encounter, and the badly damaged heroine of the River Plate HMS Exeter. The massive Japanese fleet that destroyed or chased off the rest of their comrades now had them alone to concentrate on. U.S.S. Pope, DD-225, and HMS Encounter screened Exeter's starboard side, while U.S.S. Mahan, DD-102, and Matt's own Walker, DD-163, screened to port. He glanced up at the lookout standing in the little tub near the top of the mast. Rodriguez, electrician's mate 3rd class, appeared transfixed, staring through heavy binoculars at a point far astern. From where he stood, Matt couldn't see anything yet, but he knew the 2 Japanese heavy cruisers and the destroyer that had pursued them since 0700 were still behind them. Rodriguez could see their smoke, and they were getting closer. When they had slipped out of Surabaya the night before, they intended to run the Sunda Strait into the Indian Ocean and make a dash for Ceylon. Blocked by the enemy, they reversed course across the Java Sea to run east along the Borneo coast. Their quick about-face gained them breathing room, but the enemy cruisers launched observation planes. 2 circled even now, high above and beyond reach of their meager anti-aircraft defenses. All they could do was watch while the planes kited lazily overhead and reported their progress to every Japanese ship within range of their radios. The convoy was limited to 27 knots by Exeter's damage, but Matt knew Walker couldn't steam much faster herself. The daily litany of mechanical casualties plaguing his ancient ship read more like a shipyard inventory than a morning report. Pope and Mahan were in no better shape. The stress of constant steaming and frequent combat, in addition to ordinary wear and tear, had placed a heavier strain on Walker's machinery and equipment than she had endured in all her 23 years of service. Walker had gone beyond her design, and Matt was very much afraid that she, as well as her crew, was being pushed beyond their capability. He hadn't commanded her long, only 4.5 months. As a reservist, even one from the academy, he'd been treated pretty rough by the Navy. He had worked his way into the exec slot on a Benson-class destroyer, a major step up in the peacetime Navy, but he had lost the posting to an older regular officer and found himself on the beach. He knew it wouldn't last, and he was right. War was brewing all over the world, and it was just a matter of time before the United States got involved. When he got the letter, he expected, hoped for, a posting to one of the new Fletcher-class destroyers, possibly as gunnery officer. That would have suited him fine. Much to his surprise, he was given a command, but not one of the sleek, lethal modern destroyers he yearned for. No, he was to command one of the decrepit and almost defenseless antiques with which he was familiar but found far from satisfying. Even more disheartening, his new command was attached to the Asiatic fleet. U.S.S. Walker had toiled with the Asiatic fleet for more than 6 years.